we see a cop, and the narrative is they put their lives on the line every single day. This is a tough job. This is a job that is so very tough and difficult for them to do, and the only thing that we do is we demonize them. The only thing that we do is that we talk bad about cops. These are self-inflicted wounds that we're going to have to start addressing.
Willie D. Live.
But I wanted to, go ahead. I ain't going to jump ahead of you because I know you got a lot of questions.
No, well, one of the things that I wanted to ask about was these cops, man. Like, I know that the cops can be held accountable, but they're not being held accountable because of laws that are put in place. It's not just the laws, but it's also the higher ups. The people who are in the commanding positions. They're hiring them. They're giving them breaks when they do dirty or whatever. But the laws, there's so many laws that are meant to protect them. How is it that your constituents, no, well, not your constituents, but your colleagues go into this room and create a law that makes a police officer untouchable, virtually untouchable?
Qualified immunity.
How do they do that with a good conscience? And how do the people flip the script?
I think when you look at it's marketing 101. We look at public servants with a certain level of reverence, a certain level of respect. You look at people walking through the airport, somebody in their military uniform, everybody's walking up to them, thank you for your service, thank you for your service. You may not even know, you don't even know who this person is. They're just in a uniform, thank you for your service. You get to get on the plane first, and so we see a cop, and the narrative is they put their lives on the line every single day. This is a tough job. This is a job that is so very tough and difficult for them to do, and the only thing that we do is we demonize them. The only thing that we do is that we talk bad about cops. These are self-inflicted wounds that we're going to have to start addressing. Because at the end of the day, qualified immunity needs to go away. Because in every sense of the word, everybody should be held accountable. The same way as a citizen, I'm held accountable for any actions that I take, and the same way that a cop needs to be held accountable for any actions that he takes. Please don't tell me that I only have a split second to make a decision on a life-threatening situation. I only got a split second. That split second always seems to be longer when it's somebody else. But when it's a bald-headed, 6 foot, 250-pound, muscular build dude that split second is just a split second. How do we keep having the ability to have patience for others, but then we don't have no patience for these people? And then, oh my God, I accidentally shot him. I meant to tase him. Oh my God, I shot him because I don't know why I shot him. There's story after story after story after story. Imagery is our biggest problem. We've said this before. The media has demonized us, and so that's why when you look at certain individuals that are killed, it's like, But police officers should be held accountable for their actions. And it's difficult to get in a room and fight against that because I think police officers have the ability to play on the heartstrings and the consciousness of I put my life on the line every single day. And I agree with that to a certain extent.
What's that extent? A certain extent.
You don't have to initiate problems. You can, you don't have to escalate them. You can de-escalate them. You don't have to run in here being a cowboy. You can simply sit back and kind of, survey the area and be like, okay, what's going on? You can understand when you walk into a situation, it is always going to be, the anxiety is always going to be high. But you don't need to then go in and tell everybody to respect just you and yet you don't give respect, you're going to simply, you're challenging someone's manhood, or you're challenging, who they are even as a human, just because you think you deserve respect because you walked into the room. I'm sorry. I can't respect somebody just because you walked in the room and told everybody to shut up. We were having a conversation just by ourselves. So again, you find oftentimes you're escalating situations in certain communities while you're de-escalating them in others.